today's interview is with Inspector Ben Doughty. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Sharon. How are you?
I'm good. How many times have we tried to set this up over the last 2 weeks?
It's been a little bit of a juggle, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm currently sat at home. The kids are all out in the garden in the sunshine, so let's go.
So why have you been at home over the last couple of weeks? Do you want to just explain that?
Yeah, so 3 children. One of them got a little poorly, so we had to self-isolate. She had a COVID test. That came back all negative, symptom-free, so I was able to come back to work this week. An incredibly busy week. We've been recruiting for a licensing officer, so it's been juggling normal demands and the recruitment process. So yeah, it's been an interesting week.
And have you been doing that all from home?
No, so I was recruiting with the council on Tuesday, so I was over at the council doing some Zoom interviews, and then I've been at Halifax and Brighouse and all over this week.
So how's it changed your role then, being in lockdown and the pandemic for you? You as an inspector for West Yorkshire Police, Valleys, and also in your personal life, because you just mentioned that you've got caring responsibilities for 3 little ones, which I guess are not in school, or are they? Who is a key worker?
Yeah, as a key worker, I've been putting the kids into school 4 out of 5 days on average at their little primary school, which I'm incredibly grateful for. The staff have been amazing. It must be horrible them being in. So they've been in. It's been sometimes some shorter days and then some home working, doing some office working. Obviously, we need to be in the office for daily business as well. So it's been a little bit of a mismatch of hours and where we're working from. In respects of our role in policing, it's been incredibly challenging. The frontline staff are working incredibly hard. When the new legislation came in, our demand rocketed. We were experiencing sort of New Year's Eve, which is typically our busiest day, level of calls for service, which the impact on the frontline staff they were working tirelessly. We had to learn what that legislation meant to us. We had to understand how to apply it. And I think as West Yorkshire Police, we got it really right in respects of we were engaging, encouraging people, educating people about the risks before we went to that enforcement. If we had to enforce, we did enforce. But communities have been exceptional in Calderdale, I think, really responsible, pulled together, and we're sort of returning back to normality as things ease. The day-to-day job of looking after communities, working with our partners, is sort of getting back to normal. Home life, I don't think there is a normal. It's a juggling act. I sometimes feel like bath time is like sheep dipping. I might go into a career in farming afterwards, but yeah, all is good.
Now, we've worked with you, personally with you, since about 2013 with Bus Oasis, when we first started work down at the bus station with ASB, antisocial behaviour.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
we've worked with yourselves, and then when you've less so as you've gone up through your ranks to sergeant and now inspector, so congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
And we've worked with a lot of your colleagues across Calderdale as well, addressing ASB, nighttime economy and stuff like that. Now, there's no nighttime economy going on, is there, as yet?
No.
So I don't know how you say you're going to start working with partners. We're not actually working with you as yet. What's been one of the most challenging things that you've had to face throughout all this? I know you talked about your frontline workers, but you personally?
I think sort of like personally and as an individual, I'm quite resilient. My partner serves in the Royal Navy, so we're used to going away for periods of time, and we're really used to that as a family now. But I've got an exceptional support network around me. I've got my friends, my family, who do a lot. The children's mum for childcare. So we've got a really good support network. My partner's been away for 7 weeks now. She's just come back for a couple of days leave. And that 7 weeks felt like an eternity because that support network was even further away. Couldn't just go to mum's for a brew or to dad for a drink, whatever it might be. Saw my best friend in person last weekend on a walk with the children, and it was it was just lifting. It lifted everything. Yeah.
So it's important then to keep those social contacts up where you can then, isn't it? In restricted time. Because I'm aware there's going to be a lot of mental health issues from older people, younger people, your age, my age. And it's how we work together to address those, isn't it, when we come out of this? I think we're very aware as a church of that as well. Yeah,
and we sort of like see it across Calderdale. We go through, Calderdale goes through its own challenging times. I think of things like flood instances, where we've got people's lives really badly affected by the weather. And yeah, we do see that sort of like mental health creep, sort of like work-wise. There's support networks out there, yourself as a chaplain, so all our staff have that support around them, and there's other things that work for our frontline staff. And in Calderdale, it's something that public health and the council are really aware of in relation to putting in that additional support. You can find all that information on the council website about Healthy Minds and that support that's out there for people. There is support out there. It's a matter of people reaching out and maybe understanding and recognising it in themselves. I've got a little trigger. I know when to take my foot off the gas, when my bucket's about to overflow. It's just about recognising that and getting that help, and whatever that help might be. It might not be help from the doctor, it might be help from a family, it might be just talking, it might be I don't know, going for a walk on yourself and letting the wind blow through your hair and clear your head, whatever it might be. No one should be alone. Everyone should have access to that support, and I'd encourage anyone to get that support earlier.
And the message there, I guess, is, and we've heard it from Andy's Man Club, etc., it's okay not to be okay, isn't it? And it's okay to talk as well.
Yeah.
But it's finding those people. Sometimes people haven't got those, or they think they haven't got those people around them, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And there is more and more support out there. I think as a nation, as a community, we're less upper stiff lip Britishness. I think we're a little bit more aware of it. It's not necessarily a taboo. And yeah, just speaking is, I suppose, the first step in understanding and recognising what's going on.
Now, music plays a big part in people's therapeutic emotional health, if that's the right thing to say. Before your bucket overflows, or when your bucket overflows, have you got a particular song that you think, or you'll put on, or any song that might just think, oh yeah, just takes you away for that 3 or 4 minutes?
I've got a really massive, vast music library. I love music. My partner got home a couple of days ago, and the kids were singing some Martha Reeves song, and my partner said to the children, "What on earth are you singing?" The kids also sing the Radio 2 news jingle and love to sing BBC Radio 2 at the top of their voices. I love everything from really cheesy dance music. I even like a little bit of Northern Soul and Motown. It's really eclectic. My absolute guilty pleasure has to be Kylie Minogue. Love her to bits. But one song, and I probably discovered this after my cousins introduced me to Deacon Blue, but I love the song Dignity.
Dignity.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a dinghy and I'm going to call her Dignity. Now, I'm not very good on the water, so I'll probably never buy a dinghy, but the thought of it's quite romantic.
It's a good job you don't do what Tash does then, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not a chance they'd get me anywhere near any of those boats. Ships, sorry, she'll kill me if I call it a boat. It's a ship.
Ben, have you been changed through this experience at all? Because I know I have. In any way?
I don't.
Or do you view people differently?
Change. Sometimes in policing, we see the worst in everything. We deal with horrific crimes, sometimes horrific people, offenders. We're not always the most popular, because when it comes to enforcing and upholding the law, sometimes that doesn't sit very well, certainly for people that are in breach of that or break the law. We deal with victims that can be horrifically changed by whatever crime or incident. Flooding, we see the worst of that and see how long it takes to recover. So I think we do tend to see the worst in things, but looking at Calderdale and the council's vision 2024 about being resilient, kind, distinctive, I think kindness has sort of like shone through all of this. And it's made me reflect a little bit that sometimes we maybe are a little bit hard and see the worst in things, where actually there's far more positives coming out of things at the minute. You think food banks, you think of the army of social care workers that are looking after all our vulnerable out there on the front line, NHS staff, from everyone, the front desk, the auxiliaries, the cleaners, the nurses, the doctors. You think how many people are putting so much in. Like I said earlier, exceptionally grateful from the children's school teachers that are in school. I'd be worried. They don't know where I've been when I've gone to work. And children that they're looking after. So yeah, I think it's made me look at humanity as has far more positives than negatives, and that's a little bit of reflection on myself.
Yeah, well, your work is predominantly focusing on the negative of society, isn't it? Yeah. So you've seen love and kindness throughout this pandemic.
Absolutely, on all levels as well, whether it be just the dedication of all the frontline staff, the realising how important your friends and family are, and how hard it is when you've actually just got to Zoom them, Skype them, or ask Alexa to call them, whatever it might be.
We appreciate people a little bit more. Now, people that watch this video and on this Facebook page, which I know you're aware of, do pray. Some of them pray. So if you were to put a prayer request in, have you got one? What would it be for people? Yeah,
I think it's for everyone in the public service. There's so many unsung heroes working tirelessly in the background. We work really closely with our partners at the council, and people that I work with day to day are still there doing the work, keeping communities safe. Our neighbourhood teams have been redeployed into the volunteer hubs, all unrecognised but unsung heroes. I've said about the NHS, social care workers, all our frontline staff, all the police frontline nationally, who are still there doing the job under incredibly difficult circumstances. As the legislation changes, we have to adapt to that and apply it in a way which maintains that consent from the public. So I think it's everybody that's still out there and doing the bit, and especially just for the communities of Calderdale that have been so resilient, been so kind, looked after each other. That can't go without a little bit of help from upstairs maybe, and some prayers to carry it on.
Absolutely. Ben, thank you so much for taking your time out to do this.
No worries.
You've explained really well your professional side and your personal side of it, and I'm sure people appreciate that, and I appreciate that. And it's a pleasure to serve you as chaplain to Calderdale District. So, and I'm here for you and all your staff in whatever position they hold. So, Ben, thank you. And
thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Will do. Enjoy the sunshine. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
See you later.